If you are feeling like you are in a pressure cooker with overwhelming stress about your finances, then hang tight, because I'm going to show you how to feel better even before the money comes in. I'm Candice Bester from Grit, and I'm super excited to be bringing you our second episode of our Grit Community podcasts. I'm going to show you today just 5 things. Grab a pen and paper, and if you do these 5 things, I promise you, your financial situation is going to change. And if you get nothing else from this video, it's going to be that you're going to feel different about it, and it's not going to be consuming your every thought. So let's get right down to it. Step number 1, you have to acknowledge, you absolutely have to acknowledge that the struggle is real. If one more person says to me, Candice, you know, money isn't everything, there's so much more, I think I'm going to punch them in the face. Okay, well, maybe it's true, money isn't everything, but it affects everything. If you don't have money, you can't pay your bills. If you can't pay your bills, you can't sleep at night. If you can't sleep at night, you're grumpy, you're reactive, it affects your relationships. And if you can't sleep at night, you get sick. So it actually affects your physical health too. So step number 1, acknowledge that this is very, very real. The struggle is real. Step number 2, you need to turn up the volume on your self-love and your self-compassion. This is hard. And when something is really, really hard, and when you're going through a very difficult time in your life, the absolute worst thing that you can do is to berate yourself, to beat yourself up, it's just going to make you absolutely feel worse. So turn up the volume, speak to yourself like you would speak to your best friend or a family member who you love dearly if they were going through the same thing. That's step number 2, is turn up the self-compassion and self-love volume. Step number 3 is you need to understand that you most probably have a scarcity or a lack mindset, which, by the way, is not your fault. So what is a scarcity mindset? A scarcity mindset is looking for what's missing. It is always feeling like it's not enough. It's skipping past the blessings because you always feel like you're going to run out. And it comes with a very, very empty feeling of, it's all consuming. It's an empty, all consuming feeling. So where does this scarcity mindset come from? Probably from how you were raised, probably what you saw growing up with regards to your blueprint with money. And if money was a struggle for you growing up, or for your parents, or for your caregivers, if there were fights around money, if you saw them stressing around money, if you saw them never feeling like it's enough, you've probably just adapted that mindset. And I need you to know that it's not your fault, but shifting this absolutely is your responsibility, and it is in your control. You need to be very, very aware of your vocabulary, your thoughts, and your beliefs, specifically around your finances and your money. The day that I realized this, it was really, really so enlightening for me. I sat there one day and I thought to myself, why are there certain areas of my life that are going so well, and then some, like for example at the time it was finances. Why are finances such a struggle? What is the difference between those 2 areas? And I really got my answer just by asking the question. My thoughts around the things that were going well in my life, let me give you an example, was my children. So I felt so positive about them. I felt like they, the words around them were positive, my thoughts were, my beliefs around them were positive. So there really was no issues when it came to them. I felt like I was like an 8 and a 9 out of 10 in that area of my life. And then when it came to finances, oh my word, it was completely different. My words around it, my thoughts around finances and money, it was all negative, complaining, and just never enough. So that was a big aha moment for me, because I realized something has got to change. The next thing you need to do is you need to say thank you as much as humanly possible. You need to notice your blessings, because when I started to, it was a game changer. So saying thank you as often as possible means noticing every single blessing. When you're paying for something, say thank you. Thank you that I can pay for this. As opposed to, oh my gosh, it's so expensive, I can't afford it, I'm going to run out. Say thank you when you receive money, and then notice how money and blessings come in different forms. We think it's money that needs to come into our bank account, but it's not. So little things like somebody offering to pick up the tab, getting to Checkers, and then when they actually finish your transaction, 120 Rand you've paid less today. Those are money blessings. And those are the ones you need to notice, because they're going to make you feel so different. The next thing that you need to do is that you need to bring yourself into the present moment. In the Bible, they speak about give us today our daily bread. And that's what we've been taught to do, is just ask for what we need today. But we don't do that, do we? We're thinking about, never mind tomorrow. We're thinking about the next year. We're thinking about our children's education when they've just been born. And so it's going to the next and the next and the next that is causing all your anxiety. So when I was feeling really overwhelmed and stressed about money, I would just bring myself into the present moment and tell myself, just for today, I have absolutely everything I need. There's a beautiful saying that says, when you're present, you lack nothing. When you're present, all your needs are met. And when you start to have little moments where you realize that, those little moments add up, and eventually you feel less and less stressed about money. So step number 3 is to notice that you have a scarcity mindset, and to do all those things to flip it to an abundance mindset. Step number 4 is you need to calm your nervous system down. You need to calm your nervous system down. A beautiful tool that I learned from Mel Robbins. If you're not following her, please, you absolutely need to. You need to notice how anxious you're feeling. Put 2 hands on your heart and press down hard. Okay, we're resetting our nervous system. Your nervous system is in fight or flight most of the time. And when you're in that state, you can't concentrate, you can't focus, you can't make a plan to make more money, because it's paralyzing. So you put 2 hands on your heart and you just take the most deepest, calming breath that you've ever taken in your life. So it's, and then you blow out all that tension. And you might need to do it 2 or 3 times for it to shift. And then you say these 3 things. I'm safe, I'm loved, and everything is okay. And again, you might need to say it 2 or 3 times, but you are now noticing the anxiety, and instead of it controlling you, you are taking control of it. In the beginning, you might need to do this 25 times in a day. But as you start to notice your blessings more, you feel less stressed. As you start to count your blessings and say thank you more, as you start to bring yourself into the present moment more, you feel less stressed, and then your nervous system is more settled. And then step number 5 is focus on your effort, not your outcome. Oh my word, I did this so wrong for so long. And because of that, it never ever felt like it was going to change. We focus on the outcome. So we say, like, when I can pay my bills, then I will feel better. Or when that new deal comes in, or when I get a salary increase. The truth is, so much of the outcome is not even in our control. So how do you focus on the effort instead of your outcome? You calm your nervous system, and then you actually, with a clear mind, start to take inspired action. Okay, so I thought of this idea a long time ago and I've never put it into place. Let me make those few calls today. Or let me spend an hour this evening on that new business idea that I so badly have been wanting to do for the last 10 years. But that is focusing on efforts. And then when you get into bed at night, you can look back and go, wow, I am doing something different. And that's going to make you feel very, very different. So just to recap the 5 steps. Step number 1, you absolutely need to acknowledge the struggle. Step number 2, you need to turn up the volume on your self-love and specifically your compassionate voice. Step number 3 is you need to understand that you have a lack mindset, and that if you just do these 5 things that I've said in the video, then you will 100% be able to start to change from a lack to an abundance mindset. Step number 4, you are going to bring yourself into the present moment, and you're going to calm your nervous system with the 5 your heart habits, and remembering that when you focus on the now, you have enough. And then lastly, focus on your effort and acknowledge yourself for that instead of the outcome. I want to finish this video off by telling you this, that your self-worth has nothing to do with money. I know it's hard, because every time you don't have money, or every time you need to ask for money, it makes you feel worse than trash. I kind of felt like that was my biggest lesson, was I needed to see that my worth wasn't dependent on the things outside of me, and that help comes in so many different ways, and contribution comes in so many different ways. So if you're not contributing as much as you want right now, notice and acknowledge yourself for where you are. Are you being a fantastic mom or a dad, or did you help a friend, or did you help somebody at work? Because those are the things that are going to make you feel good about yourself, which will help you to do these 5 steps. So if you know somebody that would do with watching this video, who would benefit from it, please send this video on to them, and click on the link to join our WhatsApp group. My intention for having the Grit Community WhatsApp group is that I want you to send me your struggles every week, and hopefully we can build a community where we can support each other, where we can help each other. Your WhatsApp messages will not go onto the group, we will manage that, but hopefully we can use those to teach and inspire other people. So like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and I will see you next week for episode 3.